What's up, Weirdo? Shade Surgeon here with Joe the Mountain Jedi, who's in the middle, as you can see from his shirt over here, in the middle of filming an episode of Ranwin Park, Sasquatch, Swamp Ape down here.
Right. Well, that also, you know, I mean, unlike my hairstyle, my wardrobe has to update occasionally. So,
how about this, man? I got a question for you.
Shoot.
What is your gut reaction when someone looks at you and says, "Man, I'm sure glad you're here"?
I'm wondering how bad things are. Usually whenever somebody's like, "Oh God, I'm glad you're here," that usually means that I'm wading face first into the middle of something that's going to get real deep real fast.
Well, I think this is going to be an easy one, but I'm glad you're here. I just got a call from a friend of the channel, Brapstar member, Rollin' with Rollin'. He's the one who dropped off that KTM for us to fix. We haven't gotten to it, which he's not worried about because he bought a brand new Honda Trans Out. I love my KTMs, trust me, but...
You know what KTM stands for, right?
What's that?
Can't take much.
Well, when it comes to KTMs, I'm going to go ahead and stick to dirt bikes, not to street bikes. But anyway, he's on a cross-country trip right now, just starting today on his Honda Trans Out. This ain't a good review for Tusk tires either, because he just ripped an entire knobby off of it. And he goes, "Hey, can I come grab that tire off the KTM?" I said, "Sure, buddy, but I can't put it on." Thank goodness Joe is here.
Oh, I got volunteer.
You know, I didn't realize. I was just like, "Haha, Joe, we got work for you. Too bad you know stuff and you exist," because that's always a bad combo. My problem is I forgot that I don't know stuff and I exist, which means I have to push all the bikes out of the way. Shit rolls downhill, baby. Well, I said I don't know much, but I at least know how to take off a rear tire, so I guess I can save you from a little bit of work.
And I went through putting that damn air conditioner in Mom's place the other day.
The one I said I'd help you with? You know, when you don't know much, baby, you gotta get your knees dirty. Gotta love KTM. And I feel like specifically designed this to prevent you from using a crescent wrench on it, and I don't have a 32mm wrench, shame on me. Let's see if we can get this off without destroying it, even though the bike is still suspect as to whether it's worth a damn or not. I mean, that is really freaking dumb. Well, thanks to Joe, who knows things, he found the metric equivalent that does fit on here. God damn, dude. They fucking meant that, huh?
Rip off?
Yeah, you had a knob rip off, man. Bad form. Tusk tire. I didn't even know Tusk made tires. Pretty bad friend if I didn't try to use some of the knowledge that you've given me. It's an adventure bike. You're having an adventure. Pull it on in, man. It's always the good kind of adventure afterwards when you get to tell the story, man.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Tusk isn't enjoying the story I'm about to tell.
You're not exactly doing good PR work for Tusk tires right now. Yikes!
They're not doing good PR work. That's an air bubble underneath the tread that popped. This is the second one of these tires I've had the same exact thing happen to.
Really?
Dude, yikes, man.
After they issued the recall and after they were supposed to have fixed the problem.
Dude, this is like Firestone levels of BS, dude.
The problem.
Dude, that and the freaking what you went through with the KTM, you gotta have some good luck coming your way eventually, bud. Either that or something real bad to put all this stuff in perspective.
659 miles on that rear tire.
Damn, dude. Well, this is Rollin' with Rollin'. Make sure you go subscribe to him. I have a link down below. He was leaving from the Tampa Bay area for a cross-country trip. Yeah. Good thing you actually noticed, man, because if you kept going with that, that would have 100% blown. Let me check that seat, dude. You missing a dime out of there? Because the ride over here must have been dicey.
I've had a rear tire go flat on me within the last year on a rider share bike I rented.
No, dude.
The tire went flat on 75 doing about 80 miles an hour. And by the time I got it down to 60, the rear of the bike was swaying like this with the flat. And
dude.
I brought it to a stop without issue.
I had 2 in a row go complete blowouts on the Dirtster, both within 60 miles of each other. Learning how to stop with a rear tire blowout was not something that I really ever planned on having practice at. So there was a recall on these tires. The one you had that blew up before was part of the recall, right? This tire's from 2024.
14th week of 2024.
And if you've been watching Ranwin Park, you'll know how to read those dates there because Joe's explained it several times. That was not under the recall. If you got one person that has 2 blowouts with Tusk tires, I wouldn't have given him a second chance myself.
And what's crazy is I didn't ride either of those bikes with those tires nearly as aggressively as I rode this or that. And they still did that. If I rode those tires like I ride these Rows, I hate to think what would have happened.
Oh, me too, man.
On those Rows without issue.
Howdy, Josh from the future here. I was a littlest bit reluctant to release this video about the Tusk tires, mainly just because I don't like talking bad about a product that I haven't actually used for myself. But when a very good friend of mine has been through 2 sets of tires in a row that have experienced exactly the same problem, and that problem is dire, theoretically life-threatening, I didn't feel good not saying something. But we ended up doing a live stream last night where we kind of discussed it amongst Shade Tree Army, Brap Star in general, and everyone kind of agreed that it is the right thing to do to release it.
Hey, what's up?
Hey man, you're on air. We were talking about the tire earlier because that video is coming out tomorrow, and I just wanted to get your opinion on it. What's your opinion on Tusk and Tusk tires?
Man, honestly, I really don't have enough intel to form one, but just looking at what happened on the thing, I mean, it's pretty obvious what happened. You know, the tread cap delaminated from the carcass, and it allowed it to grow an air bubble in there, and basically it had a knot come up like a badass pimple. With it being unsupported with that air bubble trapped underneath it, it just flexed it every time the tire came around until it ripped it off. I mean, that's a big issue. It's a definite safety issue. I mean, the thing is, I don't know what the date code entailed on the recall they put out on them or anything, but you guys looked at the date code and you said that tire was produced after the recall had been put out.
Yep.
So
14th week of 2024.
To me, that tells me they've either got a manufacturing issue or the tire simply isn't robust enough to deal with the weight that it's carrying and or the horsepower of bike that it's being put upon. That can cause issues with too much localized heat in the middle of the tread cap where it's bonded onto the carcass of the tire, and eventually it breaks down to the point where it forms a void in there and it opens up and it swells out and it pops. But here's what's the kicker on that though. With that tire failing on the back of that Honda, there was a tube in that tire. Somehow the tread cap delaminated enough, or it had an existing void in it like an air bubble that was trapped in there when the tire was manufactured. That allowed it to, kind of like a blister, you know, when you keep, you know, walking on it and everything, eventually the skin peels off.
Yeah.
The same thing, you know.
So it could have been there from the very beginning.
Yeah, it could have been a manufacturing defect where the tread cap wasn't properly vulcanized onto the carcass of the tire. The KTM is a tubeless wheel. The Honda is not. It has a tube. So if you've got 2 similar or identical failures in 2 different installation environments like that, then that's absolutely pointing to one of 2 things: either a manufacturer's defect that made it past quality control, or a tire that is simply not up to the load rating or speed rating that they're advertising the tire to, and it's delaminating and failing. If that tire was a pre-recall tire, I'd be like, well, you know, one slipped through the cracks and they didn't catch it. But with it being a post-recall tire and having the same type of failure, that kind of sets a precedent, and not a good one at that.
No, I mean, the trust you got to put in your tires has to be absolute, dude. If there's any question, then it's not a question anymore. You got to fucking get rid of it.
The world we live in on 2 wheels, you know, you're rolling around and you've got roughly 4 to 8 square inches of rubber tying you to the road, and that's it.
I just want to tell you guys, one of the things that makes me reluctant to release it is that I have a large platform and this video can do harm. I have to be aware of that as somebody who makes videos. I say all I want, that like, oh my gosh, whatever, I just made a video. Like, people are going to do what they want, but that's just not true. 280,000 plus subscribers here. When I say something, a lot of people listen, you know, so I have to be responsible with that. And that made me not want to say anything because I just made me worry about like just doing harm to Tusk and Rocky Mountain ATV. But we can't deny that it is a safety issue. It is a problem. 2 in a row is a problem. I don't care, man. If it was 2 separate ones on 2 people who didn't know each other, maybe that's something you could say, like, you know, 1 couple in the batch went bad, but 2 for the same guy, there's got to be something that's actually wrong there. After discussing it with everybody pretty much agreed. I feel like it is a moral obligation that I have to share this. And I feel bad because I don't think that there's anything wrong with Rocky Mountain ATV. I don't think there's anything wrong with Tusk. I own a bunch of Tusk products. Something tells me I'm not going to be getting a Rocky Mountain ATV sponsorship anytime soon. But like, I buy stuff from Rocky Mountain all the time for my dirt bikes. Like, I bought a lot of stuff. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars at the Rocky Mountain. I plan to still use them in the future. It doesn't make me feel good to make this video. It's not like something I'm excited about making, but I did feel like I had a moral obligation to share this on the channel, because if I had those tires on my bike, Like if I had them on my bike, I would be getting different tires. I wouldn't be trusting those tires on any kind of long distance trip. And that's just me. And since I felt that way, I felt like I had to share it. And when we all talked about it last night, everyone kind of agreed. Again, doesn't make me feel good, but I just wanted to throw this in there. Anyway, that's enough about that. Make sure you're following Rollin' with Roland and his adventure on hopefully a rear tire that's not gonna blow up. Speaking of adventure, I hope you guys didn't forget about the Choose Your Own Adventure Dyna Special. We're raffling off this Dyna right here with 100% of the proceeds going directly to Forgotten Angels to help them fight the cycle of abuse in the foster care system. A lot of you guys are very familiar with Forgotten Angels. For those of you who aren't, what they do is they benefit young men and women who are made homeless by bad acting foster care parents here in Florida and spreading across the nation with all of y'all's support. Our aim is to bring a Forgotten Angels to every single state. A lot of these young men and women, they receive no care. They come from horrible home situations where they've been abused, they've been given drugs, their credit is ruined, we have kids that come to us who don't know how to tie their shoes. Then they go into a foster care home that's just taking advantage of them and grabbing a paycheck off of them, called foster kid farming. It's absolutely reprehensible, but a lot of times, since it's better than the situation they came out of, the social workers don't do anything about it because it was even slightly better than the situation they came out of. And they're just thrown in a room, up to 4 kids in a room. They don't even have to provide them food. As long as they have AC and a roof over their heads, that's all they have to provide, and they milk those kids for $1,000 a month. 3-bedroom house, 4 kids per room, you do the math. And then on their 18th birthday, they're given a garbage bag to put all their belongings in because that's the cheapest thing I can get them to get them out, and they're made homeless. Almost none of them have jobs, almost none of them have driver's license, almost none of them have any sort of life skills that you need to make it in this world. And it's a tough world that's getting tougher. What Forgotten Angels does is they step in and they give these young men and women the life skills, the help and support that a family would give them. Their extended family, which includes all of you guys out there who have donated to Forgotten Angels. Their family failed them. The system that was supposed to protect them failed them. Well, third time's a charm, baby. The success stories from the young men and women who have gone through the Forgotten Angels program speaks for itself. A lot of them has joined the military. Junior, who a lot of you guys have come to the camp out who are familiar with, Junior's just about to go to boot camp right now. We're all going to go up there for his graduation from boot camp. It's going to be a good time. We're super proud of him. We have young men who have graduated the program, who one of them bought their first house. They have jobs, they have relationships, and they have a safety net and parents they can fall back on. Dave and Cindy at Forgotten Angels. One of those things that I know a lot of you guys out there didn't get, so you know how hard it is to make it in this world completely on your own without anybody looking out for you. And these people have less than nothing. They are basically on a one-way trip to homelessness. With all y'all's help, they have more than nothing. They have all of you guys who have bought a raffle ticket and any of the number of motorcycle raffles that we've done, and the amazing support of David and Cindy and Forgotten Angels. And that's why we're giving away this Dyna right here. And right now, less than 200 people have bought tickets to win this Dyna. I am not joking with you. There is now basically a 1 in 200 chance, maybe even less than 200 because some people bought multiple tickets, but there's not a lot of tickets sold for this thing. I don't know if people just don't want a Dyna, or maybe I just haven't advertised it enough to let you guys know that it's actually happening. But this raffle's ending in a few days, so if you want in on it, now's the time. This motorcycle runs perfectly. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it besides a broken speedometer, which we'll fix before we send it off. It's ready to go, and it's ready to be your adventure bike. As our man heads out with a new tire, well, a new used tire put on by Joe the Mountain Jedi, while he rolls out on his adventure, listen up, baby, 25 bucks for a raffle ticket. Not only does it go to a good cause, not only is it helping somebody who has nothing achieve something and be a productive member of society, not only are you actually making a difference with that, but you could be coming on an adventure to Florida if you want to anyway. As with every motorcycle we give away, it comes with a one-way ticket if you so choose to Tampa, Florida. You can stay with us down here. We'll go fishing, we'll hang out, come on vacation, leave on probation, baby, and you can take your very first adventure on this Dyna on your way home to wherever home might be. And yes, you can enter internationally, though you'd have a pretty hard time riding this motorcycle back to Europe. I guess if you kept it idling on a container ship, you could do it and technically ride back to Europe, maybe just drive circles around around on the deck. That's up to you if you want to do something like that. This twin cam Dyna is a blank slate right now, ready for you to make it into whatever you would like it to be. Much like these young men and women's lives are blank slates and ready to fall off the edge. But what we're doing is helping them put something on there that makes a difference, helping them put something on there that makes them productive members of society instead of letting another person fall through the cracks, become homeless, and not accomplish anything in this world. These kids never even got their first chance. They never even got a chance to fail, let alone a chance to succeed. Well, that's what we're doing now. That link's down below. 100% of it goes to benefit Forgotten Angels. The bike was completely donated. That's 25 bucks that you can feel pretty damn good spending. And you know what? Maybe karma will point her finger at you and say, today's your lucky day. You are getting picked. But even if she doesn't, you know it's going to an amazing cause and it's going to help people who have less than nothing. We are bad people doing good things, and thanks to Dave, Cindy, and Forgotten Angels, even though we might be scummy, scuzzy weirdos that look like we crawled from underneath a rock, we can actually make a difference in this world, and that feels pretty damn good. That link's down below. We'll be pulling the ticket live. Only a few days left to enter. Like I said, right now, it's about a 1 in 200 chance. So odds are better on this Dyna than anything we've ever given away, and this is one of the nicest motorcycles we've ever given away. Oh, and by the way, my birthday's next week. I only want one thing for my birthday. A $25 donation to Forgotten Angels. That's my birthday present. Hey, and every $25 donation comes with a ticket for the Dyna too. So hey, that's a win-win-win, baby. Boys, there is nothing to remind you that you are officially back from Oregon, like a 97-degree Florida day with 100% humidity, surrounded by knee-high grass. But at least I get to hang out with my favorite bike, the Dirtster, if it starts. But why wouldn't it? I'm actually recording in a brand new helmet today. My Schubert, I guess there wasn't anything technically wrong with it, but after a year of use, and I put my helmets through the ringer. After a year, that thing was straight up whooped. So I actually left it in Oregon so I don't have to carry a helmet on the plane when I fly back out there. Helmets are one of the few things I actually feel confident reviewing, and I might give the Schubert the review. I don't know. I will tell you this, I can't really recommend it, mostly due to the price. It's just so expensive. And I don't mind paying for quality when it comes to helmets. One of the few things I actually spend real money on. But the Schubert had one flaw, and that flaw was the visor would slam down under any sort of wind. I actually had to stick a bunch of those little gummy things that you put on your glasses in order for it to stay up above like 50 miles an hour. And even then, get above 70, it was slamming closed on you. You guys who watch all the time know how often I open and close my visor. When I open it, I want it to stay open. I only ever close it to talk. Otherwise, I ride pretty much exclusively with my visor open. I think that I'm on a shortcut right now. I'm not sure. Well, let's say I'll drive an extra 5 miles just to find a shortcut. Never to let it be said that I can't get lost anywhere, including my own hometown. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the Schubert. That's a $1,000 helmet. And if a helmet costs $1,000 and it has a flaw like that, I just can't recommend the thing. Now, does that mean I'd give it like a total failing, this is a horrible helmet review? No, I actually really liked the helmet. It was lighter than my Shoei Neotech 2. It was more comfortable. It was quieter. I really liked it better than the Shoei Neotech. But man, I will tell you, that one flaw was, for me, pretty big. Especially at $1,000, it was pretty big. Like, that made it larger, relatively. I don't know. I might do a full review on the Schubert, though, like, why would I? I feel like what I said right here is enough of a review. That's why I don't do reviews. I don't think I'm very good at them. I'm not a very good YouTuber either. I haven't even said what kind of helmet I'm wearing now. I'm not a good YouTuber. I'm not a good reviewer. I'm not even a good motorcyclist. Just because I'm not a good motorcyclist doesn't mean I can't set some records, though. Let's go for the most amount of stop signs ran in a row. Well, that's 1.
Let's go!
A 2. A 3.
Keep the pace. Looks like trouble.
Technically, I still haven't stopped. A 4.
How'd you do that?
5.
Good.
And 6.
What a show. I love it.
I feel like I can beat that. That 6 doesn't seem like that many. And a 1.
Good.
A 2.
Okay.
A 3. 4.
Keep going.
5.
Looks like trouble.
Oh, don't slow my roll. Don't slow my roll. Turn off. Turn off. Yes.
Nice.
And a 6.
Go for it. Watch
I have
out.
to go around the pedestrians. And a 7.
You're in first.
8.
No misses. Beautiful.
And
Okay,
Are we gonna get the
final lap.
ninth? Yes, and 9 stop signs in a row, baby. A new personal
That's a
best.
lap record.
That ain't going nowhere. The Bangkok bagger rides again. Bursting forth across the road like a rotten cantaloupe, the Bangkok bagger rides forth to do battle with the USPS. Evil never sleeps as we hurtle like a black arrow into the righteous heart of the United States Postal Service. Uh-oh, the fuzz. I'm just kidding. We're not out doing any evil deeds. Who, me, a member of the Law-Abiding Citizens Club, doing an evil deed, plotting mayhem and destruction? It could never be me. All right, he's gone. Okay, where was I? That's right. Dastardly deeds done dirt cheap, all in the name of Brapstar. Of course, got all your Brapstar orders back there. Now that we have the trailer, we're back to delivering every single Brapstar order on 2 wheels. Sometimes with a trailer, don't need to do that today, but with the amount of pre-orders coming in, we're definitely going to need a trailer for that one. In fact, we're almost out of the free sticker packs that we're giving away with every single pre-order. So if you want one of those, jump on that now, brapstar.com. We've got 3 new ways to cover your awkward nudity. Far and above, the bestseller right now is the Eagle, baby. Here, freedom ring, death from above. I've always wanted to do this one on a regular shirt and on an olive drab Dickies work shirt. That's definitely one that I'll be ordering an extra one for myself. We've also got the Brapstar Elder thing. It's not a cult, baby, especially if the FBI is asking, but that doesn't mean we can't have a goddess in Dimension X who demands sacrifice. The Brapstar goddess consumes.
Must be blood.
Must be fresh. Yet we're never with a shortage of any willing, we'll call them volunteers, okay? Yeah, never a shortage of volunteers when it comes to the Brapstar. Not a cult, not a cult. The Brapstar not a cult sacrifices. And when you crank this hog right here, it sounds a little bit like a microwave on defrost, but I still put my heart in it. Whether you're on a car alarm setting off, thumping V-twin, or if you're on a Goldwing that's got about as much pizzazz to his exhaust note as when you ask your computer to export a large file, it doesn't matter, baby. We're all united under cranking hogs, quiet or loud. Celebrate that. Let everybody know what you'd rather be doing. And we enter the den of the enemy. Those cursed goody two-shoes, the USPS. And today I deliver a shotgun blast of darkness. Yes, fly, my pretties, fly. Whoa, take it easy. Once again, we get away with it. Will Shade Tree Surgeon and Brapstar ever learn their lesson? Hell no, because learning is for nerds. Now, I guess I should actually say what kind of helmet I'm wearing. I was talking about how I'm a bad YouTuber. I'm a terrible YouTuber. I didn't even say what my new helmet was, and it's a helmet that previously I said I wouldn't get. Not because I didn't think it was a good helmet. I had no opinion on it, really. I just thought it was a little too cool guy for me, but yeah, after finding out just how light the Simpson modular helmet is, I had to give it a try. First impression is, this helmet is super freaking light, especially for a modular. I mean, I almost thought it couldn't be real that it was this light, but it is. Second impression is, it's a little noisier than the Schuberth, but I can definitely give up some noise for lightness. And my third impression is it moves more air onto my face, really important here in Florida during the summer, than any other modular helmet I've ever worn. So far, it's doing really well, and I can record in it and my voice sounds fine. We'll see how it holds up, even though this one's like a little cool guy, especially on the Bangkok bagger here. I don't know if this helmet really fits in with a dusty, crusty, old 1,000-pound Goldwing, but here we are. As I wear the helmet for longer, I'll be sure to tell you guys what I think about it. As always, huge thanks to everyone out there who's repping Brapstar on their tit and helping keep this channel independent. You guys are very much appreciated in joining me on this evil mission.
Well, if you guys didn't know this about me, I'm not exactly the most organized person in the world. If I was a kid, I'd be getting my ass whipped with how this shop's organized right now, or not organized at all. Let's do something about that. I'm gonna put on a little bit of my favorite internet shit talker, Nicholas Diorio, and let's get to work.
Dude, this is insane!
Even on the low guy body.
He's swabbing on his mouth! Give it a laptop! Yeah!
That's kind of better. Yesterday when I was riding the dirts around, you guys don't know this, but I actually had some trouble with my GoPro. I filmed a lot more than what you guys saw. It just didn't record because of issues. I use pretty old equipment. I use a GoPro Hero 4, and sometimes they don't work exactly right, even though I like them better than the new ones. I really should upgrade, but I just haven't yet. Well, there's only really one thing to do right now to fix this issue, and that's to make the Dirtster faster. I really think that's my only option at this point. Oh, golly, man. That gets hot fast. Anyway, before I burn myself, you guys know on this channel that I've always been a big proponent of Electron carbs. I've worked with them for years, and the Sportster's been no exception. Back when it was an 883, I had Electron carb on it. I've got Electron carb on my XS650 chopper. I have Electron, well, I used to have Electron carb on my FXR back when it was an 80 cubic inch. Now that it's a 124, I'm running a Mikuni, but we might change that later. When we changed this to a 1250, I went back to a CV carb because the Electron carb that I had was set up for an 883, and I just didn't have time to send it back out to Electron or reset it up for the bigger engine. Well, Electron came through and we've got their brand new Billetron to put on here. I'm pretty excited about it because I've always felt like this thing really lacked the low end torque that I wanted it to have. When we went to the 1250 kit and the Buell heads, it was ridiculously faster than the 883, but I always just felt it lacked something on the bottom end. Any of you guys who have a Sportster out there, you'll know that the first gear in Sportsters is incredibly tall. So I might just need to put a bigger sprocket on it, but I really don't want to lose any miles per hour on the highway. So let's try to fix some of that low end snap with Electron carb. This flat slide carb compared to the CV is going to make a huge difference. I just know that from experience. Well, Electron is not paying me to say this, but they are friends of the channel. A lot of people who watch have used Electron and really like them. I've also had some people who watch who've used Electron and they wasn't for them. They ended up not liking it. But the one person who I'm talking about right now who ended up not liking their Electron and wanting to go back, Electron actually issued them a full refund for it. So they do stand behind their product even when you're not a fan of it. And in my opinion, the most important time to stand behind your product is when somebody's not a fan of it. Ooh, definitely could use a new one of these guys. Oh, there we go. Whoever put these on meant business. Who could it have been? Who made them this tight? Oh, golly. You're forcing me to do this. Let's use a little bit of persuasion. Come on now. Oh, God, it's fucking bending in there, man. All right, well, this is already going swimmingly. Fingers crossed. This does not always work. Well, it works pretty frequently. Okay, hell yeah. I was sweating there on that one, dude. Oh, I might need that. Threw some gloves on real quick so I ain't giving any of those girls out there the cranberry juice special. As this Dirtster lives up to its name. Oh, that vacuum line's toast. All right, we are free. If I remember correctly, there is an adapter plate for the Electron. This allows you to run an S&S style air cleaner. Hey, you even include an adapter plate if you got an S&S style intake with bolts too. That's pretty neat. And the Electron throttle cable, the slide. All right, let's slap this sucker together. Start with seeing if I can get these guys out of here. Probably should have taken these off while this was still mounted to the motorcycle. Oh well, I'll just use a little bit of persuasion. Definitely overkill for just a carburetor, but I know I Loctited those in. Just blue Loctite, but still. Yeah, I definitely use blue Loctite. Nothing wrong with making your life a little easier. Cool. Let's not use it to put them in though. Well, looks like I put some Yama Bond on there too, which I don't know if that's overkill or not, but I always feel like there should be something there. Now, maybe I'm going to regret doing that. I might have to persuade this off. Never forget, folks, the carburetor is a finely tuned, sensitive part of your motorcycle, so use a plastic hammer. Yeah, I definitely put Yama Bond on that. Again, I don't know if that's overkill. I forget if there's a paper gasket that's supposed to go there. The kit didn't come with one, so I'm just gonna make myself feel good, clean this off, and use Yama Bond again. Remember, finely tuned piece of machinery, so be careful with it. Be very careful with it. Oh, it's the next day and I'm realizing that this is fine thread, the one that I had to pound the Torx into, and I really don't want to tighten this back up on there with a messed up well, so Ace Hardware to the rescue, because I don't have any fine thread stuff here, let alone a specialty bolt like this. Fingers crossed that Ace has it. I can't complain about having to run up to the store too much. It means I get to go for a ride on the Choose Your Own Adventure Dyna. And that's something I ain't kicking out of bed. Oh, this thing runs like a top, man. Sounds a little bit better than the old Goldwing, too. Now, a tuned-up Valkyrie with 6x6 pipes bouncing off the rev limiter. That'll give the Dyna a run for its money, but my Goldwing with stock pipes on it's got about as much sex appeal as a ceiling fan. To be honest with you, too, right about now is the only time of day it's actually decent to ride in Florida anyway, if you're up before 8 a.m. I tried to do that when we were out in Oregon, and what I found out is at 8 a.m. it's freezing cold, and the sun's shining in your eyes like you're a buck about to get poached by a redneck in the middle of the woods. And they don't have sunrises and sunsets in Oregon so much as that thing just turns on and off. Dude, this is a good bike, man. We were talking about it on the live stream last night and what people would do with it. I'd be tempted to just throw some bags on it, because I'd definitely put a set of leather pros on this thing, and I'd be tempted to just leave it exactly how it is. I'd probably want to put mids on it. I'd like to have forward pegs as an option to put my feet on, but I want my controls in the middle, man. I just like it better there, and then when I want to stretch out, I can put my feet forward. But if I had all the money in the world and a wild hair in my ass, I'd probably do something a little different than that. I've just been obsessed lately, and I'm not alone. A lot of people have. I can't say I'm not a victim of groupthink. I have just been loving the St. Louis style D-rake choppers, kind of like the whole bad boy look. A lot of people don't like them, trust me, they are polarizing if nothing else. But when you go up on the neck and in a little bit on the rake, I just think it makes for such a good looking bike, especially on something like a Dyna. I've seen several people do Dynas like that, and I don't know, man, I think it's a really cool look. And since you're going up and in, you actually don't sacrifice any handling. If anything, you make the thing handle better. Now, there are other ways to make it handle better than that, but a lot of times those D-rake choppers, you see them with big brakes and sporty tires on them because people rip those things. Truly an attack chopper. So that'd probably be what I would do if I had this Dyna and I actually had a budget, but that's just me. You know, I really ought to focus on getting the motorcycles I do have running instead of building castles in the sky about a motorcycle that in a couple days is going to belong to one of you guys. There's the hope and Ace Hardware's got what I need. They usually do. I still lament the loss of the local hardware shop, but goddamn if Ace ain't real freaking convenient, man. They've saved my ass many a time all over the country. $3.12 later, Ace to the rescue. I love that they still work on the honor system too. I've never had anybody actually check what's in the bag. Now, normally I'm a dirty, rotten, low down, no
good, no account, ne'er-do-well scoundrel, a scallywag, a scofflaw even. But when it comes to the honor system at hardware stores when you're picking up nuts and bolts, hey man, even somebody with as black a heart as I do still abides by that one. You gotta draw the line somewhere. You respect the honor system when they let you pick out your own hardware and market, okay? We'll put that one on the very, very short and truncated list of rules that I actually have any respect for. Normally, I don't abide by man's law. I answer to a higher power, baby. But the hardware store honor system, I think that's a higher power's law right there. You gotta do that one. All right. Let me stop putting miles on what is very soon going to be somebody else's Dyna. Focus on getting the Dirtster running before the sun turns Tampa Bay into a microwave.
I probably only got like an hour before it gets hot, and I still have to edit this video to come out later today, so let's get to hustling. I'm gonna do myself a favor and save myself the headache and replace this vacuum hose right here. It has seen better days. All of it's seen better days. Yikes, dude. I should probably replace the whole freaking thing. And our nice new shiny slide here. I've been running Electron carbs since they very first started making carbs for Harley Davidsons. One of the things I like about them is they've never stopped making their product better. They're always coming out with something new. Now, I don't feel like I've ever had a bad product from them, but I like that they're always innovating. Just because you make a good product doesn't mean you can't make it better. I wish a few other companies that haven't changed shit in absolutely forever would sometimes take that advice. Although there's still something to be said for if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. I don't know. I can exist in both camps. I can see the benefit of both. Got these freaking slides chromed now. I wonder how much of a difference that makes. Tuck this right here real quick so I don't bash it against anything. Well, with Electrons, you sometimes have to set the idle, but other than that, I shouldn't have to do anything. Just a couple counts against the Electron. I don't like that the slide's held in with metric bolts, but it's all right. It's understandable. Most of these carbs are for dirt bikes. I get it. And the Sportster is a mix of metric and standard anyway, but I do usually like to keep it standard when I can. Well, I ended up having to reuse my old bolts anyway due to a clearance issue, but it's in, so let's see if it fires up. Not as cool as a dirt bike where you get to fill the bowl and see it because it's clear, but it's still pretty cool. It runs! Well, only one thing left to do now. Let's go ride the bastard. Alright, let's see what this Electron feels like. Definitely easier starts, much less dramatic. Well, that feels a lot better, but I didn't think it wasn't going to feel better. Like I said, I've got a lot of experience with Electrons. I've run them on a lot of bikes. I love them, man, and I'd put them on anything I own that they make a carb for, but that's just me. They're not for everybody. Some people don't like them, but for me, yeah, I dig the cut of their jib. Ooh, hell yeah. Yeah, I like the way that feels a lot better than a CV. It is a flat slide, so if you're used to a CV carb, a flat slide is going to feel a little abrupt to you when you first put it on your motorcycle, but you learn to love it. Same as a Mikuni flat slide, I am hearing a little rattle down there, but that's just the metal slide rattling in there. That's just what they do. Mikunis do literally the exact same thing. That's where I really wanted it, man. That low end, just in first gear, I felt like I was missing that snap. That's in second gear at 30 miles an hour. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. And maybe I could have tuned my CV carb to give me exactly what I was looking for, but I will tell you this. The Electron makes a hell of a difference anyway. For me, at least, there's absolutely no comparison to the stock CV. And one of the things I like about Electron is it's plug and play, baby. They send it ready to go from the factory. You call them up, you tell them exactly what modifications you have done to your bike, where you live, they set it up, and you're ready to go. You usually have to adjust the idle just a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to take it just a couple hundred RPMs up, but that's literally it. And besides that, baby, you're ready to rock and roll.
That's a certified ripper, boys. Yeah, that aisle's just a skosh low. Well, that's a little low from where I usually like it anyway. We'll fix that later. For right now, we gotta get back to the fort because I have to edit this video.
All right, y'all, that's gonna about do it for this one. I appreciate each and every one of yours weird and strange support of all the stuff that we do here on the Shade Tree Surgeon channel, and especially for all your support of Forgotten Angels. We are bad people doing good things. We are chaotic good, baby, and just because we're greasy, scuzzy, slimy, and ugly, and definitely smell bad, that doesn't mean we can't make a good difference in this world. Till next time, y'all, keep it weird.
Crashing through the sky comes a fearful cry. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Armies of the night, evil taking flight. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Panic spreading far and wide. Can the world oppose the deadliest of foes? Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Who will risk it all to end the evil call of Shade Tree? Army. Shade Tree, army. They never give up, they never say die, walking tall with banners high. Shade Tree Army, a ruthless gang of scum, villains, freaks, and bikers determined to rule the world.